ground, and I think it's the Northwest, right?
It's Mel's home?
Is that what it is? Where this guy was like put fishing line down there, he could never
Yes.
find the bottom.
Yeah. That's Ellensburg, Washington. That's so do you want me to tell you the story?
Yeah. Do you ever go see this stuff?
No, not really. Because
Why?
well, I mean, if I debunk a story, why go see it?
Did you debunk that?
How can I tell this? How can I tell you that I haven't told the story yet?
Let's hear it.
All right. Mel Waters buys this property in Ellensburg, like the Monastash Ridge in Washington, in that area. And there's a hole on his property. And he sees that like all his neighbors are throwing all kinds of crap into the hole, like old washing machines and all kinds of stuff. They're just using it as a dump. And so he starts doing the same thing. They're all just throwing stuff in the hole. And after a while, he wonders, why does this not fill up? It's very strange. So he goes over there and he's just he can't see the bottom. He can't hear an echo. And he's out there investigating with his dog. And he's looking and he looks and his dog won't come close. Like his dog is like, will not come near the hole. And he looks up and birds are flying around it. Like nothing wants to come near this hole. So he wants to figure out how deep this thing goes. And he's a fisherman, so he puts fishing line down there and he's got 5,000 feet and he doesn't hit bottom. He does another spool. He's got 10,000 feet. He ties lifesavers on the bottom of it to put it down there to see if they'll come dissolved. Maybe it's a well. 20,000 feet, 50,000, till he hits about 16 miles of line down and he doesn't hit the bottom with it. So he
16 miles
16
of line.
miles of line. So
16 or 60?
16.
Jeez.
And he notices that his radios are acting weird. When he's out there working, he's listening to his radio, and when his radio is near the hole, he's picking up these strange things. Like he's hearing old time music, which doesn't make sense. And then he tunes a little bit and he catches a baseball game. He listens to that for a minute and realizes it's a game from 30 years ago. So something is affecting like time around the hole. So at this point, he calls into Art Bell at Coast to Coast. I don't know if you remember Art Bell in that show.
Oh, yeah.
Back then. So he's telling Art the story about how weird this hole is. He talks about how one of his neighbors, his dog died, and he threw the dog down the hole. And the next day, he sees his dog running through the woods with his collar on, but he won't come. It's like he acts like he doesn't know him. Like the hole is doing weird stuff in the area. So he talks to Art Bell a little bit about it. And then Art is trying to get in touch with him and can't. And then finally does. And Mel Waters says, I wish I never called you. He said, so I talked to you, and he was out of town for that interview. He said, I got back into town. I couldn't get on my property. He said there was heavy machinery there. There was military there. They wouldn't let me up. Some guy in plain clothes came down and said, you can't come in here. I said, why? This is my property. He said, there was a plane crash, so we have to investigate it. There's no evidence of the plane crash. There's no news. And Mel starts to get kind of upset. It's my property, my land. And then the guy in plain clothes says, I'm not saying we will, but we could find a drug factory or something on this land. I'm just, saying that could happen if you want to press this. And Mel Waters said, I'll go to the press. The guy's like, tell whoever you want. No one's going to believe you. And he gets run off his property. And you don't know if it's a hoax or not, but Art Bell talks to a news crew that goes to the property and they find evidence of tractor tracks in the mud and evidence that there was a military presence there along with machinery. And it's still all blocked off. Mel is eventually contacted by some intelligence and offered a deal. $2 million, you leave the country, you never come back, and you lease us the property, sell us the property. You just never come back. So Mel goes overseas for a while. And this story on Art Bell is 10 years that he checks in. So Mel is overseas. He's in Australia. And it's something like his niece is graduating, so he wants to come back. He's not supposed to come back at all. But he decides to come back anyway. And he's taking a bus he lands wherever, and he's taking a bus, and there's some type of issue where breaks out on the bus. There's a fight or something. The bus pulls over, and everyone gets off, but he's not allowed off. Like they're holding him back. They get everyone off. A couple of guys kind of grab him. He feels like a pinch, and then he blacks out. And he wakes up 12 days later, and he's in San Francisco in an alley, and he doesn't know what's happened for the last 12 days. And he tastes blood in his mouth, and he realizes his back teeth are missing. Like it's a crazy story. And he's telling all this to Art, and Art helps him like find a place to stay. And he says, Art, I just got contacted from native tribe and the people who are called the Basque. I don't know if you know the Basque. It's a region between like France and Spain. It's a little area people call the Basque. It's a small community, but it's very unique. So a lot of Basques settled in Nevada in like the 19th century. So this native tribe is working with the Basque, and they call Mel, and they want him to come out because they found another hole. Story gets weirder from here. So he goes out to like consult with them about the hole, and that hole is different. Mel's hole was about 9 feet around, 9 feet wide with a stone retaining wall. This hole is 9 feet, but it's got this metal collar, and it's metal all the way down as far as the eye can see. And it won't vibrate at all. Like Mel drops a tool or something on it, and it doesn't make a sound. It's very strange. So they don't bother trying to find the bottom of it. They just start putting things down the hole to see what happens. They start by putting ice cubes down just to see, is it hot down there? So they put these ice cubes down the hole. They pull the ice cubes up, and now the ice cubes are hot. And they catch on fire. Like that, they get transformed in the hole. The story gets weirder. And they do that for a while, and they actually take ice, and some of them are using it to heat their homes. It's very weird. So then they say, someone volunteers to go down the hole. And they're like, no, you can't do that. But they're a shepherd colony. So they send a sheep down the hole in a crate. And they send and the sheep doesn't want to go. Animals don't like this thing. Birds fly around it. Animals don't want to go. So the sheep is freaking out. And they send the cage down at like 1,200 feet, and it stops moving. And they pull it up, and the sheep is dead, but it looks totally fine. So since it's a shepherd culture, they know how to butcher a sheep. So they said, we'll do an autopsy on it. We'll butcher it. So they butchered the sheep, and the entire inside cavity of the sheep is gone. And inside is a giant tumor, just this disgusting, huge tumor. And they cut the tumor open, and inside is what Mel described as a fetal seal, like the fetus of a seal with human eyes. And it's looking at them. And they kind of just set this seal-looking thing out for a while. They're looking at each other for a couple of hours. And then it eventually kind of inches its way back down into the hole. And once it does that, Mel, who had esophageal cancer, is now cancer-free. Like everyone who was sick in the village is now healed. And the people there think this is some like divine thing that with this, they call it a magic seal. And they believe that it's communicating with them through this radio in like some type of Morse code. They don't know if it's alien language or not. And he's telling Art that I've got pictures of this. I've got recordings of it. I've got all this stuff, photographs. And they finally set up an interview to go over all the evidence, but Mel never shows, and Art is never able to get a hold of him again. And that's kind of where the story ends. And it starts out like a really interesting story, but the theory, at least what I came up with, was the story just got so, I left out so many crazy details because how much time do we have, that the story was getting so out of hand that I don't think he could keep up with the hoax anymore. And he's just like, I can't. How do you top magic seal fetus that heals cancer? So that was a story that I went into just because I liked, I'm a huge Art Bell fan, and that's a classic Art Bell story. That's one of the top ones. I wish it had a better ending. It's so anticlimactic, but it just was such a fun journey, and it's so many opportunities for jokes in there and stuff. I have a T-shirt on the. It's one of the most popular shirts. It's I went to Mel's Hole, and all I got was this magic seal fetus. I wear it all the time.
So is the hole there?
So people have tried to find the hole, and a couple of people have said they found it. So I was doing some research. What was very strange was the area where the hole was supposed to be on Terra server, which is like before Google Maps, was all blacked out. It was all like redacted, which is very strange. But later it does show up on Google Maps. So people tried to. Mel gave a lot of information of that you could probably find it. I found one place that was very compelling because Mel said on his property he had one building that was kind of falling down from snow, and I'm looking at the pictures of the property, and that building is there, and then right across the way is a hole that's 9 feet wide with a stone retaining wall. And I looked at that and I'm like, no way. That I for a second there, I thought this was Mel's hole, but it was investigated. It was just a well, and the property belongs to somebody. But that's one of those stories where I like debunked it, and then